I can't believe we're actually doing this video. An NBA Finals preview featuring the New York Knicks. On today's show, a deep dive on Knicks Spurs 2026 NBA Finals. We're going to give you some injury updates on Mitchell Robinson and my prediction of what's going to happen in this series. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. My name is Marshall Green, and we are presented by Prize Picks. Before we talk about this matchup, if you want the Knicks to beat the Spurs and become NBA champions and put a banner in the rafters of the world's most famous arena, I need you to go down and hit that thumbs up icon right now. Knicks, Spurs, NBA Finals. We've done this before. And unfortunately, the New York Knicks came up on the short end. But I'm ready to make 1999 a footnote and move on and forever remember the 2026 NBA Finals. It'll start this Wednesday. Game 1 will be this Wednesday in San Antonio, and then Game 2 will go on to be, I believe that is that Friday. I actually got to zoom in on that picture. I'm getting old. My eyes are bad. But yes, that'll be Game 2 on Friday, June 5th. Then we are back to Madison Square Garden. On Monday, it'll be Game 3. Wednesday will be Game 4. And if there is a need for Game 5, that'll be Saturday, June 13th. Game 6 will be Tuesday, June 16th. And if there is a need for Game 7, which I think there might be, Friday, June 19th. The New York Knicks come into this series as underdogs, but I kept on looking for the sports book that would give me the odds that showed the New York Knicks had no chance, because that's what everyone told me. There is no way the Knicks could beat anybody coming out of the Western Conference. But for a team that has to go on the road for Game 7 is only plus 170. I know it's not a pick'em, but those odds do not paint the picture that this is a no-chance type of victory for the New York Knicks in this series. Here are the series odds for the exact outcomes. Las Vegas is telling us that they believe the most likely outcome is for the San Antonio Spurs to win this series in 7 games. And then the Spurs to win in 5 games. And then they have the same odds for the Spurs to win in 6 games and the Knicks to win in 6 games. They have the same odds for the Spurs to sweep as they do the Knicks to win in 7. And the next best odds are the Knicks to win in 5. And then a long shot of the Knicks to win in 4. They've done it the prior 2 series. It might be worth a little bit of a sprinkle. Game 1, though, the New York Knicks come into this one as 5-point underdogs with the point total at 218.5. And look, I'm not really someone that ever gives betting advice, but I'll say this. I like Knicks plus 5 in Game 1. I do bleed orange and blue, so take that with a little grain of salt. But look, they're coming off a long 7-game series. The New York Knicks, I believe, have the longest rest advantage in NBA Finals history. And I saw San Antonio Spurs team, and I get it. It was Game 7. But they celebrated like they won the NBA Finals. Go watch how the Knicks celebrated when they won Game 4 against Cleveland. It looked a little bit different. I was talking to my guy, Patrick Seatman. It was like, the Knicks celebrated like that when they beat the Boston Celtics last year. But they knew that the job this year was not finished. When we say 4 more, we actually do mean that. Another major storyline in this series is, will Mitchell Robinson be able to play Game 1? Will he be able to play at all in this series? And how much of an impact are you going to get from Mitchell Robinson? As we know, Robinson broke his pinky or broke a bone in his hand. He has been seen wearing a brace, did some things at practice, has not participated in full. He's tweeted out, he's put it on Snapchat and Facebook that he's good and he's going to be ready to go. We know that this injury did not occur during basketball activities, which is pretty damn frustrating if you do ask me, but sounds like Mitch is going to give it a go. We'll see how much juice he has left in the tank. This Spurs team is great. You don't get to the NBA Finals without being great. No doubt about it. Their starting 5 from top to bottom is great. De'Aaron Fox is a really good player. He was awesome in Game 7 for San Antonio. Castle was unreal. Great point of attack defender. I'm expecting him to be guarding Jalen Brunson a lot. Julian Champagnie, he goes from being waived by the Sixers to sign Mac McClung. Nice move, Daryl Morey. To now being a star on the San Antonio Spurs. A New York guy. He is looking to come back to New York and put on a show. He lit up the New York Knicks from downtown before. and Vassell, and I can't believe I haven't said it yet, but Victor Wembanyama. It's a really good team. They're not that deep of a bench. They really only go about 7 deep. Harper and Johnson will play off the bench. Then you'll see a little bit of Cornette, a little bit of Barnes, and a little bit of Bryant as well. But they roll with their 5 guys, and it's going to be tough. A lot more to discuss on today's show. I do got to tell you, though, about our proud sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. Use that promo code HMA after you download the app and create an account. Play your first $5 lineup, and Prize Picks is going to hook you up with $50 in lineups instantly. You do not even have to get that $5 lineup correctly. It's available in all 50 states, plus Washington, D.C. With the NBA Finals here, the time to get rocking with Prize Picks is now. So much fun to play. All you do is create a lineup of 2 to 6 players. You simply pick more or you pick less on the stat line that Prize Picks selects for that player. We've got a little lineup ready to go for game 1. We're taking the more on 5.5 free throw attempts for Jalen Brunson, more on 4 threes attempted for Karl Anthony Towns, and Stephon Castle. We're taking the more on his points as well. A chance to turn $10 into $60. Check us out. You can follow me on Prize Picks at @MarshallGreen_. Billions have been paid out. It's safe. It's secure. Available in all 50 states plus Washington, D.C. Check them out. Play $5. Get $50 instantly when you use that promo code HMA. All right, as always, when we do on these previews, my 5 keys to victory for the New York Knicks. I think a lot of people, and I'm not saying they're wrong, would have been, you got to stop Wemby. You got to slow down Wemby. Yeah, no shit, you got to slow down Wemby. You got to make it tough for him. But what's most important is when Victor Wembanyama is on the bench, the New York Knicks have to win those minutes. The Spurs are a good team. I'm not trying to say they're not, but they're a lot better team when Wemby is on the floor, and that has been on display throughout the regular season and the postseason. Think about it like this. Net rating. How many points do you outscore your opponent by 100 possessions? Well, when Wemby is on the floor in the regular season, the Spurs outscored their opponents by 16.7 points per 100 possessions. When Wemby was off the floor, they still won those minutes, but all the way down to plus 3.4. Fast forward to the playoffs, an even stronger difference here. Plus 16.2 when Wemby is on the court, minus 2.1. Nearly a 19-point difference when Wemby is on the court compared to off the court. If you want to win this series, you need to win the minutes when Wemby is on the bench. He can get tired. We saw that in the Western Conference Finals, and I believe the Knicks are going to play physical defense on him and try to tire him out. And their defense, when Wemby is on the floor, it is historic. In the playoffs, they are allowing 101.9 points per 100 possessions. It's the best mark in the National Basketball Association. But when he is off the court, they are not a great defense. Still okay, not great, 114.8 points per 100 possessions. So when he's off the floor, that's your time to attack the rim. That's your time to get rim looks for Karl Anthony Towns. That's your opportunity to get those back screens and backdoor cuts for Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby and Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson to get downhill. This defense can be taken advantage of when he's off the court. You have to win those minutes. And the 3 matchups that the Knicks ended up playing the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA season this year. First one came in the NBA Cup. Wemby had 18 points, 6 rebounds, but he was a minus 18. Key part of that, he was still coming back from injury. He was on a minute restriction, and he actually came off the bench in that game. They played a couple of days later, the last day of December, and they won that game. Wemby was dominant. 31 points, 13 rebounds, and a plus 28 in his minutes. Fast forward to March 1st, though, the New York Knicks dominated the San Antonio Spurs. And Wemby was good. 25 and 13, almost shot 50% from the floor, but he did not shoot the ball well from 3. I know it's going to sound crazy. Can't allow Wemby to dunk, and you can't allow him to get open looks from 3. If you make him operate in the mid-range, he could struggle a little bit. But as you see in the Cup and on March 1st, he was a negative in his minutes. Not going to happen too often. That is why you have to win the minutes when Wemby is off the floor. Key number 2, it's just Josh Hart. I could say Josh Hart rebounds. I could say Josh Hart shooting. Josh Hart pushing the pace. Josh Hart doing things that Josh Hart does. You just need Josh Hart to have a productive series, which he is more than capable of. He's been good this playoffs. He has. Almost 12 points per game, nearly 9 rebounds on top of that, and he's almost giving you 5 assists per game. He's not shooting the three ball, though, nearly as well as he did in the regular season. And we saw that in the early portions of Game 1 versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs dared him to shoot. They put Jarrett Allen on him. They essentially played a ghost coverage where Allen really isn't guarding him, but he essentially is guarding him by daring him to shoot. And I promise you, we are going to see the San Antonio Spurs deploy that same exact strategy. We saw it in the March 1st matchup. Look at these 4 screenshots. Josh Hart is wide open. San Antonio, they know stopping this Knicks offense is tough. They're one of the best offenses in NBA history for a reason. Sometimes you got to pick your poison. And I believe the Spurs are going to say, you know what? If Josh Hart lights it up from 3, we'll take our chances and we'll accept our L. And as you can see in all 4 of these screenshots, it is Wemby ghost covering Josh Hart and daring him to shoot. And I'll say this, it doesn't just mean Josh Hart has to make his threes. They just have to make them pay for deploying that coverage. That could be Josh Hart turning into a dribble handoff guy and setting a screen on the guy that's covering the ball handler he's passing it to and giving him open looks. That could be Josh Hart flashing to the high post. We saw that in the March 1st matchup. You see Mikal Bridges throwing the ball to Josh Hart at that high post. Karl Anthony Towns cuts back door. Victor Wembanyama is pulled away from the rim, and Cat gets an easy dunk. Finding a way to pull Victor Wembanyama away from the rim opens up the paint, and the New York Knicks are one of the teams in the NBA in the playoffs this year that put the most pressure on the front of the rim. That being Jalen Brunson drives, that being Karl Anthony Towns buckets around the rim, that be cuts from Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, or Mikal Bridges. But it's all on Hart. They are going to double-team Jalen Brunson at times. That means Brunson has to throw that pocket pass to Hart at the foul line. Then the Knicks are playing 4-on-3. Hart catching at the foul line, turning and facing. Does he drive? Does he dump it off? Does he kick it into the corner? Josh Hart, I believe, is going to be the ultimate X factor, usually like he always is on these New York Knicks playoff runs. Jalen Brunson pull-up threes. Go back and watch the highlights, or just go watch every SGA shot attempt versus the San Antonio Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. His most open looks were off his screens where he could have shot a pull-up 3. That's not necessarily SGA's game. He likes to get into the foul line, likes to flop, lay on the ground. We know that. But he's not someone like Brunson that is looking to let that thing fly off the screen. That is what he does. And those might be the easiest looks for him. Because if he's getting to the rim, there's going to be that 8-foot alien coming from the backside who has a standing reach that we've never seen before. Brunson this year did not shoot the pull-up 3 as well as he usually has in the regular season, 34.3%, and the playoffs down to 29.3%. When you want to win an NBA championship, sometimes you got to do some unreal stuff. And it might just have to be a series where Jalen Brunson is on fire from downtown. The Knicks somehow swept the Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals where Brunson shot less than 18.5% from 3. But he shot 41% in the first 2 rounds. He's more than capable of that. He is more than able to knock you out from beyond the arc. If he can catch fire, if he can knock in his threes, and he takes advantage of those pull-up threes, that's one, going to get you some easy buckets, but that's going to change the way that the San Antonio Spurs play defense. If it's Josh Hart being guarded by Wemby, and he is setting screens for Brunson, or it's Karl Anthony Towns guarded by Wemby, he's going to be in that drop coverage. He's going to be around the rim. He's going to be daring Jalen Brunson to shoot mid-range jumpers. But if Brunson can continue to hit those pull-up threes, hit those deep mid-range jumpers, that's going to pull Victor Wembanyama away from the rim. And when that happens, that opens up the floodgates for this New York Knicks offense. And that is why what we saw in that in that first series versus the Atlanta Hawks, where Karl Anthony Towns was playing that point center, kind of Jokic-style offense, passing out of the high post. That is a great card to have in your back pocket. But if Brunson can catch fire from downtown in this series, specifically those pull-up threes, that's going to go a long way to help the Knicks be NBA champions. Karl Anthony Towns versus the San Antonio Spurs wings are going to be huge. I think from time to time, we will see Victor Wembanyama guarding Karl Anthony Towns, but I don't think that that's going to be the main strategy that the Spurs are going to deploy. And I don't say that because I don't think Wemby can guard Cat. He absolutely can. He can make it tough on him, just like Towns can score on him as well. But I think there are better ways to use Wemby on defense. And we've seen in the past, Towns has sometimes struggled against stronger, longer, athletic wings before. But Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Harrison Barnes, like those guys can't guard Karl Anthony Towns. If Towns catches from the foul line down and he's got one of those young, inexperienced wings on him, you got to take him to the rim. You got to kiss it off the glass. That's got to be auto buckets. If it's Castle, if it's Vassell trying to deny Karl Anthony Towns and prevent him from attacking the rim, that has to be an auto bucket. I don't say this lightly. The Larry O'Brien trophy might just rest on the shoulders of number 32. One of my final keys to victory, of course, is the defense versus Victor Wembanyama. And I don't mean you got to slow him down. You got to make it tough for him. I mean the actual way like you're going to play defense on him. You need to be physical. You need to get under his length. Like we remember as Knicks fans when Kristaps Porzingis was a Knick. What was Wade's is that team slowed him down. They got a stronger guy who was maybe a little bit thicker, who had some lower body strength that would get under his center of gravity and push him off his spots. You could still sometimes do that with Wemby. But I truly do believe that the New York Knicks have the best defender in the world on their team in OG Anunoby to guard Victor Wembanyama. Caitlin Cooper does an awesome job covering this league. Says since Wemby was drafted, this tweeted out back on the 20th of May, there are 20 players who have defended Wembanyama for at least 100 half-court matchups. The player who has tallied the fewest player points per 100 matchups against him is OG Anunoby. This is why you trade for OG Anunoby, to be able to guard the opposing team's best player on the biggest stage. I don't believe double teaming works in the NBA. I don't, because there's just too many high-level shooters, and you're giving them an advantage for an open bucket. And that's how a guy like Julian Champagnie catches fire. That's like someone how Devin Vassell gets hot. That's how Stephon Castle is able to fire it up. And even De'Aaron Fox is a great three-point shooter as well. If you're going to double Wemby and you're going to dare the other guys to beat you, those are tricky waters to try to walk through. I like the idea of playing one-on-one with OG Anunoby, being physical, then throw Josh Hart on him for a possession or two. Then throw Mitchell Robinson on him. Then throw Karl Anthony Towns on him. Heck, put Mikal Bridges on him. Give him body after body, throw different guys at him, and try to tire him out. Wembanyama will tire out. He is. He is not in the best shape. It's hard. He's 8 foot tall. It's hard to be in shape. It's one of the few flaws in his game. But I truly believe if you think you're going to just try to force the ball out of his hands, he will turn it over from time to time. And you dare those other guys to beat you, they unfortunately might just do it. 3 final swing players for me. Somehow, some way, Mikal Bridges has always found a way to be great against the San Antonio Spurs. You go back to the game on Christmas Day. I think that was back in 2024 or 2025 when you first, no, that would have been 2024, right before the 2025 January. He caught fire. He was amazing. I mean, I'm not asking Landry Shamet to shoot 11 to 12 from 3 like he did in the Eastern Conference Finals, but if he wants to, great. But if these two guys, Landry Shamet and Miles McBride, can combine to shoot 40% from 3, I think you got a real chance to win this series. How about you go steal game 1? How about you go and put some fear into the San Antonio Spurs? Everyone is talking about how good the Spurs are. Everyone is talking about how the Knicks have no chance. I'm still looking for those odds, though, from the books out there that say the Knicks don't have odds, any chance to win. Let me know if you find those. But go steal game 1. Put the pressure on them. They're coming off a 7-game series. We saw how they celebrated. They're young. We don't have the most finals experience. Neither do they. But we do have veterans. And I believe if you want to win this series, winning game 1 would be a major stepping stone in doing so. I want to hear from you down in the comments section. Who do you got winning the NBA Finals? I can't believe we're doing an NBA Finals preview on this show. It still feels surreal. I've just been walking around my house the last 5 days, and every 30 minutes I go, the Knicks are going to the Finals. NYK for the Knicks, SAS for the San Antonio Spurs. Who do you got? My ultimate prediction is the Knicks are going to win this series. I truly do believe that to my core. I think they are the better basketball team. I think that they value the moment that is the NBA Finals a little bit more. Right now, I think they're a little bit more hungry because they lost on a stage last year that they should not have. And the Spurs would be like one of the first teams to go from no NBA playoff series wins to being the team that has the most playoff series wins. I've been saying Knicks in 5. I'll go Knicks in 6, just so we could close them out at Madison Square Garden. My bonus final key to victory: keep the games close. Keep the games close. Because I believe the offense that the New York Knicks have in the fourth quarter is better than the offense that the San Antonio Spurs can run in the fourth quarter. We got Jalen Brunson. They do not. Keep him close, get the ball to Brunson, and go get one more stop than they can. 4 more wins, and the Knicks are actually NBA champions. It's unbelievable. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to today's show. If you made it this far in the video, hit that thumbs up icon and give me a follow over on social media.